Sir.
Pawan. Pawan.
Sir, sir.
Pawan, వీడియో మీరు ఆఫ్ చేశారు.
Sir. Please, actually, no, Pawan has disabled me. Pawan
has
sir,
disabled.
You please enable me.
Okay.
Sir, you're in panelist only, no, sir?
No.
But I could
sir,
not.
You can talk. Okay.
Disabled. Okay.
Sir, see, sir, you are co-host now. Sir, you can unmute. You can do have the privileges.
For me also the same problem.
Okay.
Pawan.
Sir.
For me also the same problem.
Yes, lighting is
Sir, me too.
Sir, me too, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not viewing in video.
Sir, now it is okay, no?
Sir,
Sir,
me too.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Shravani madam
also
and me,
right
sir.
I think all the
Hi, sir.
panelists
Sir. Hi, sir.
Namaskaram Andi. Namaskaram.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Sir,
Very good evening.
Sir, good morning for you.
Okay.
Thank
For
you.
you, good
Thank
morning.
you.
How are you, sir? How are you?
Fantastic Andi.
Okay.
How is my friend, sir, Suresh? I have messaged him today.
I didn't talk to him since we last spoke Andi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. మెసేజ్ చేశాను సార్, ఇట్లా మీ టాక్ ఉంది జాయిన్ అవుతావా అని. మరి he didn't reply. I think he has not seen that message.
Yeah, possible. That's quite possible. Also, it is like for us, it's 7 a.m. in the morning on Saturday. So for him, it's 8 a.m. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He may be busy with other things.
So thank you very much, sir, for joining with us.
My pleasure.
Today.
Yep.
Sir. Pawan,
Sir.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I will start, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then, fine.
Good evening, all. Welcome back to evening session of today's International E-Conference on Industry Academia Partnership, Need of Hour. I would like to invite Shravani madam to introduce our respective speaker, Dr. Mallikarjuna Karamsetti garu. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all. On behalf of Riper Autonomous Management, IPA Anantapur Local Branch, and IPA Education Division, faculty and students, welcome you all for this International E-Conference on Industry Academia Partnership, Need of the Hour. I'm awfully privileged to introduce Dr. Mallikarjuna Karamsetti garu. Sir completed his B.Pharm from Gulbarga University, M.Pharm from Andhra University, MSc and PhD Psychology from the University of Strathclyde, UK, postdoctoral research from Brown University, Rhode Island. He was the valedictorian of his B.Pharm, M.Pharm, and his MSc class, and he received gold medals from Gulbarga and Andhra University. And he also got scholarship from the British government for his MSc and PhD. His specialties includes complex problem solving, FDA approvals, people management, value-based leadership. Sir is currently serves as the Director, Technical Services, Pfizer, McPherson, Kansas, US. With this brief introduction, I request Mallikarjuna garu to take over the session. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
I request Dr. Ramalingam sir to say a few words about our speaker. Sir, you are on mute. Sir, you are on mute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, so for you it's good morning, and from India it's good evening. And really it's a fortunate enough to be on this platform. And when I contacted you, you have come out with the proposal that you wanted to interact much with the students and you wanted to share your learning in pharmacy and what you have learned and how you applied. But we felt it's a wonderful topic and session. So we have communicated all your communication, all the need regarding interactions to all our students and other, not only to our college, also to other part of state as well as country. And whatever the questions we have received, and that Pawan will be coordinating and he'll be asking by name, and he'll be asking the question along with the student name who has posted that. So accordingly, you can interact. And also, I request all the students who are present here, you please post your questions along with your name so that Pawan can ask the questions with your name, so you can get the answer from him. And still after the questions, if you have some queries, you can continuously post your questions and he'll be talking, and he is very happy to interact with students. And dear delegate, you just see that the present speaker is very particular. He wanted to interact much with the students, not with the faculty or what are the case. So to mean to say that this session is exclusively dedicated to student interactions, and you can post as many questions possible. And as he's interacting or he's working with the Pfizer in the USA, and you know the complete scenario at USA, even you can post your career related questions in Canada and USA or in pharma industry abroad or whatever the case, and he's happy to answer. Sir, and before requesting you, I just wanted to submit our sincere thanks for the institution for your acceptance.
Ramlingam.
Thank you, Ramlingam Garu.
Ramlingam, you can just brief that YouTube streaming as well as the participants, the details, how many have registered and how many are viewing through YouTube.
So actually, sir, for this conference, about around 675 participants. I think Dr. Mohan Raj, am I right?
715 participants.
Yes, sir, 715 participants have registered so far, and among them around 425 around students. Maybe some many students are present here, and still they also attending this session. And sir, to avoid a noise interference, we made a system such a way that, and all the questions will be posted in the chat box, and Pawan will be moderating this as Mohan Raj. He will be moderating questions, and you are free enough to answer all those questions. And you please bear with our students if they ask even some innocent questions also. So please, sir, with this small introduction, I request you to take the stage and to deliver your interaction. And you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ramlingam Garu. Thank you, Dr. Padmanabh Reddy Garu, and for inviting me to this great interactive session. I feel like, necessity is the mother of invention, and you have raised to the occasion. Despite Corona and social distancing, you came innovatively how we can meet and interact. I really appreciate your thought process and your dedication there. Mrs. Shravani Garu, thank you so much for your kind introduction. And Ramlingam Garu, you mentioned innocent questions. There are no innocent questions, no stupid questions, maybe stupid answers. So I encourage definitely everybody to not to be shy, ask any questions, shoot my way. Before we jump in, I wanted to also make a disclaimer here. The views that I'm expressing today are purely personal views. I'm not representing Pfizer. They are not my employer's views. Okay. With that, I'm ready to answer questions, or if you want, I can start asking you questions, and then maybe that will trigger more thought process and open you up. Students, thank you very much for taking your Saturday. It's a great privilege and honor to be spending this time with you. I know this is, you had wonderful speakers in the morning, great inauguration, I heard. I saw the program, wonderful speakers. I don't know what else I can add to that. Hopefully, I will share my 2 cents, which will be valuable for you. Okay.
Sir, with that, we have already received the first question here.
Okay.
Hello, sir. I am pursuing BPharm final year, and I am intending to do Masters in Public Health overseas. Is it a good career path to move?
So a fantastic question, right? It really depends on what your passion is, right? What you want to do in your life. I always suggest whatever you choose, you need to enjoy that part. When you enjoy it, you will reach the peak. So don't just look for job. If you're looking for job, yes, anything will be fine, right? MPH is a great path. But if you're looking for a career, if you're looking for joy, dig deep into yourself. Try to understand what is that you stand for, what is that you want to accomplish, what will make you happy, and what is the need you're going to fill. And think from what you can give back to the society, right? Once you start thinking from that dimension, I think there is no stopping. Whether it is MPH or it is, Masters in Science or some other career path, there is no looking behind.
Participants, please post your questions, or else you can raise your hand. You'll be allowed to ask directly.
And meantime, could you please share about your background, how you come up and how you come up to this stage in Pfizer and your life experience. You can share to them so that they'll be knowing and they are eager to know about your life experience and what are the various challenges you have faced and how you come across, what are the various hurdles. If so, anything you please share it, sir, please.
Okay, thank you. I think, so I will tell you simply, right, very honestly, I was not a brilliant student when I was until 12th grade. Okay, I passed, I got first class and, all of the good stuff, but nothing extraordinary. Because till that time, to be very frank with you, I was not sure what I want to do. I was doing like everybody else is doing. I was going to school, education, institutions, all of that, right? But once I was in 11th and 12th, when I started learning about organic chemistry, that intrigued me. I found my passion. I wanted to understand how these molecules will help treat disease, how I can be part of that to alleviate human suffering. It's that simple interest and intrigue that my teachers have instilled in me. And then my family, right? I was taking care of my grandfather, come from a nuclear family. My grandfather used to live with us and he was almost 80 plus. And anytime anything happened to him, like common cold, cough, whatever it is, right? Doctor prescribes, we go run to the pharmacy, get tablets, capsules, liquids. There are different colors, different flavors, different things. And magically, grandfather used to get better. That intrigued me. Hi, how is this happening? What are these things doing to the body? How are they treating the disease? And, that instilled in me the interest to go pursue pharmacy career. Like I said, until 12th, yes, I got first class. But when I started in pharmacy school, now I have found my passion. For my, I devoted myself to learn more and more and more about all these things. And as a result, right, became from ordinary student to I became a valedictorian. So Krishito Nasti Durbhiksham is what comes to my mind, right? Everyone has the potential, how we apply that potential to ourselves to do bigger things, greater things, if you like. So I got, fortunately, I was able to get great teachers who continue to fan the flame of interest in me, right? So they kept that spirit up. They were always there to coach me, to answer my questions, to encourage me to do my best. And, became valedictorian at Gulbarga University. Then back then, I don't know what you call now. Back then it was called GATE, which is Graduate Aptitude Test for getting into Masters in Pharmacy. It's a national level entrance exam. I was one of the top 30 in that exam. Got into my dream school, which is Andhra University. Did pharmaceutics, Masters in Pharmaceutical Sciences, with pharmaceutical technology as a selective. again, I was very fortunate to have great teachers like Kondai Garu, Professor KPR Chaudhary Garu, Professor Vimala Devi Garu, Professor Visweswaram, fantastic teachers all around, and many resources that were available at the school that allowed me to, again, learn more about dosage forms, pros and cons, pharmaceutics, pharmacokinetics, physical pharmacy, all of those things. And again, I got I'm a valedictorian there as well, both in pharmaceutical technology specialization as well as in my class of MPharm class. From there, I went to University of Strathclyde to do Masters in Science on a British government scholarship. It's a one-year program. There, my intent was, how can I marry pharmaceutics and pharmacology so that I can develop, little I know, I wanted to, my interest was developing targeted drug delivery systems, and how can I marry these two things, physiology and pharmaceutical technology, and identify ways to target drugs. That's what piqued me. That's what made me to go to UK to do my master's in pharmacology. As I was completing my master's, I was one of the toppers in the class, and my professor offered me a scholarship to continue with PhD. I studied hypoxia, which is very widely known these days because of COVID and how patients have difficulty breathing and their saturated oxygen levels drop, right? Hypoxia-induced pulmonary hypertension is what I have studied, particularly vasoactive factors that come from endothelium. Endothelium is the innermost layer of the blood vessels. It is a powerhouse of a lot of vasoactive factors, both vasodilators and vasoconstrictors. Vasodilators like nitric oxide, if you heard of that. That is a potent vasodilator. It acts in smooth muscle cells. It actually activates an enzyme called soluble guanylyl cyclase, SGC, which produces GMP. That GMP causes relaxation of smooth muscle cells. I will let you read a little bit more. I'm not going to give you everything away. Find out, if you have not already, how nitric oxide induces smooth muscle relaxation. That was one of the findings in my PhD, that during hypoxia, nitric oxide is not released from the endothelium, and there are other vasoconstrictors that are released, causes constriction of blood vessels within the lungs, and persistent increase in blood pressure within the lungs will lead to a disease called pulmonary hypertension. It is like systemic hypertension, but it is a silent killer because you cannot measure the pulmonary arterial pressure non-invasively. And a lot of respiratory diseases like COPD, the end stage is pulmonary hypertension, and there are many levels of pulmonary hypertension eventually leads to not only morbidity, but to mortality. So that was my interest there, to study mechanisms of how this disease is progressing, what factors were contributing to this disease. And from there, after my PhD, I came to United States, went to Brown University, trying to further understand the pathways, cell signaling pathways, and understand how we can treat this silent killer. There I used many different animal models, molecular biology techniques to study the factors that leads to pulmonary hypertension. I did that for about 3 years as a postdoc, then worked about another 3 years as a assistant research professor at Brown and Tufts. Then in 2002, joined Wyeth, Legacy Wyeth as a scientist. Coming back full 360 degrees, if you like, from pharmacology, I came back to pharmaceutical technology, where I started working with many different dosage forms. I want to pause here just to have that interaction. I want to ask the students, can you name some most commonly used dosage forms? You can chat, and you can put in your Q&A.
Solids. You
Okay.
got first.
Great question. Great answer, solids, yeah.
Mr. Krishna Mohan has answered, sir.
Excellent. Can you elaborate a little bit more? When you say solids, what are you thinking of?
Komma Renuka, she said tablets. Srijita,
Fantastic.
she's saying tablets and capsules.
Tablets, capsules, yep. I see solids, solutions, tablets, suspensions, emulsions, ointments, injections, tablets, and capsules. Yes, all of them are great answers. So let us talk about tablets a little bit, right? Why are they most common? Cost, yes. Yeah, definitely. You can mass manufacture tablets. They're easy to administer. Absolutely right. Easy to consume, yes. And also it's very stable dosage form because they're in solid state. Less aseptic conditions, yeah, this is a non-sterile dosage form. Stability is fantastic, yes. Renuka, fantastic answer. Easy to consume. Precision of dosage form, Srijita, same. Yes, good answer. Okay, let me switch a little bit. Okay, these are all fantastic answers. What are some critical quality attributes if you are developing a tablet or you are consuming a tablet? Think of what are the critical quality attributes you would like to see in a tablet dosage form. Kavya, nice answer. Solubility, yes. Adaptability and productivity. Anila, nice answer, yes. Easy to consume, dosage form, precision. Solubility, right? Who can tell me why solubility is a critical quality attribute? Solubility along with drug release, Sainath, yes. Size and shape, disintegration characteristics. Fantastic, Srijita. Disintegration characteristics. Hanif, go ahead. All of them are right. I'm looking for one more rate limiting factor in tablets. Even faculty. Even faculty can answer. One more. Actually, this is a rate limiting factor for solid oral dosage forms. Before solubility, solubility is, yes, that is correct. Solubility is important for absorption. But before going into I guess it's a solubility. I can say I would agree, right? It's a dissolution. Dissolution is the rate limiting factor for solid oral dosage forms, right? Before drug can get absorbed, I think Srijita mentioned it's important for absorption. Drug has to be in solution. So before it goes into solution, the tablet has to disintegrate. When it disintegrates into smaller particles, what will happen? Before it goes into solution, it has to disintegrate. When it disintegrates, there is something that is happening there that will enhance or that will lead to dissolution. Okay, I will give away a clue. I'm hoping that you all are familiar with an equation called Noyes-Whitney equation. Yeah. Okay. Anybody? You know this? Yes. Chandramouli said particle size decrease. Fantastic. Yes. Particle size decreases, surface area increases. That allows the drug to be in solution, facilitates the solution of the drug. Once it is in solution, it becomes available for absorption. So one of the projects early on I worked on is a dosage form. Basically want to enhance the absorption, speed of absorption. And we chose the, I don't want to give you away. So it is a weak acid. It's BCS classification 2. That is, BCS stands for Biopharmaceutics Classification System. Class 2 is low solubility, high permeability drug. Remember, it is low soluble but highly permeable drug. It is a weak acid. I want to enhance the speed of absorption or speed of action. I want to solubilize this drug so I can overcome that rate limiting factor of solubilizing this drug. So I'm telling you it's a weak acid. What would you do to improve its solubility? High school chemistry. Yes. Rahul? Yes. Rahul, very good answer. Did I miss that one? Yeah. We need to add alkaline buffering agent. Yes. For a weak acid, we use a strong base to solubilize the drug. That way, I am overcoming that rate limiting factor. Solubility is the rate limiting factor. Now my drug is in solution. It is highly permeable. So I can deliver this drug to the patients. Patients, when they take this one, it gets into their circulation, into their blood much more quickly than an ordinary tablet. Very nice answer. Impressed. So that's, but this solution, right? You're using alkaline solution, you're using a weak base to solubilize this drug. It is not palatable. It is not tasty. It is yucky. What do? How do you deliver that?
Answers like coating, flavoring agent, sweetening agent, they are coming, sir.
Very nice. I think I'm very impressed with your students. They're very intelligent and they're applying what they're learning. Credit goes to both faculty and the students. Superb, superb. Yeah. They all are good answers. I'm also looking, I want to throw a challenge. If I'm developing a liquid dosage form, sweetening agents, flavoring agents, all of them will work, but I am not interested in a liquid. I'm interested in a solid oral dosage form. Encapsulation, Srijita, yes, correct. So there is a dosage form called soft gelatin capsules, where you actually can encapsulate liquid. That is the beauty of soft gelatin capsules. You can encapsulate liquid into, you can convert liquid into a solid oral dosage form essentially, right? It is encapsulated, it is within a capsule. It looks like a solid oral dosage form, but when you swallow it, it will disintegrate very quickly and the liquid will come out of it. So there is no dissolution. It is just solution. Already drug is already in solution. It is a liposomes, solid nanoparticles. Yes, Aisha, those are also very good ways to do enhance the solubility of the drug. Yes, yes. So it's an elegant dosage form. Soft gelatin capsules, they're easy to swallow, very, you're not worried about the taste. And in many ways, actually increases absorption. There are a couple of examples in the literature. Digoxin, which is a cardiotonic, right? It is used as a tablet, also as a soft gelatin capsule. Can you, if a patient is on tablets, can you convert that patient from tablets to capsules? Are they equivalent? Soft gelatin capsules, and drug is already in solution. Well, you answer that. I think people, some students have asked a couple of questions here.
Yes, sir. Shall we go for questions, sir? Few questions.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm doing that, right? I think
Sir,
Jyotsna is asking, want to know where there are any research internship programs provided by Pfizer. I don't know about a research internship program in India, but we do have a program called Summer Student Worker Program in the US. I hope there is a similar program in India as well. Best way to find that out is if you go to Pfizer.com and search for job opportunities, summer student work. That is the best place to go. I can post that link here. Let's see if I can post that link.
Sir, you can share with us, sir. We have WhatsApp groups for all the participants. We'll with them.
Okay. Okay, I can send you then subsequently.
Yeah. And meanwhile, one more thing. Mr. Hanif, that pharmaceutical quality assurance department. Nowadays, QBD was trending in pharmaceutical industry to minimize errors. What was the future of QBD in next couple of years? Will there be any better software than QBD for developing formulations with minimum errors beyond QBD?
Okay. So I have to admit here, I am no expert in quality by design. I know a little of quality by design. That is an ideal state when we are developing our products. We have lots of, basically most of the today's manufacturing operations are such that your incoming raw materials, they're not fixed, they're variable. You take the variable quality of incoming raw materials, you subject them to a fixed manufacturing process, because our process is such that we validate it, it is all dialed in, you cannot change those process parameters. So you're taking variable input, subjecting that to a fixed manufacturing process. What will happen as the outcome? You will have some variation in the quality, right? That is our, I want to say about 80% of our manufacturing processes today are in that state. Ideal state is you take variable raw materials, you subject them to, your manufacturing process is such that it will reduce that variation and yields consistent quality product. That's where we need to be. That's where the quality by design comes into picture. Lot of work is being done in that space, and eventually we will be there one day with technologies like process analytical technologies, where we will have continuous feedback and the manufacturing process reacts to that feedback, corrects itself, and produces consistent quality product. So that's kind of a concept of QBD. I hope I answered that to at least to give some flavor of what QBD is.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more question by a BPharm student. Sir, if we need to stay in research field, what are the steps we need to keep in mind?
Research field, what I would suggest is start reading the publications, either Journal of Pharmaceutical Technology or any other journals, and understand what is going on, what is the landscape of R&D looks like, and then find your passion, which one excites you, either it is liposomes or it is nanoparticles or it is microbiology, pharmaceutical microbiology, sterile manufacturing, filtration. Find your passion, read as much as you can, not necessarily the entire article itself if you don't have time, but look at abstracts and see where your passion is. Once you find your passion, dive deep into it and see if that is for you or not. For a couple of months, dabble with that. Or you can, yours is a research institute, right? Almost all of your faculty is doing research. Talk to your faculty. Volunteer in their lab, what kind of research they are doing, how you can help. Try to figure it out for yourself. Is that what you want? And then, that take it from there, wherever your passion is.
And okay, sir. Shall we move to the next question, sir? Sir, which career option would be better? One for a BPharm student, MPharm, MBA, or hospital management?
Okay, I think it's. I'm struggling here a little bit because all of them are great paths. It depends. It depends on where your passion is, where you think you will be most happiest, and I know it seems like I'm sounding like a broken record, but really you have to find for yourself what that is. All three of them are great options.
Sir, one more question by an MPharm second semester student. In this pandemic conditions, what will be the scenario of job opportunities in US and other foreign countries in pharma field?
I can speak a little bit about.
Will these pharma companies allow Indians after these pandemic conditions?
Okay, I can speak about in general terms about pharma industry job market in the US for Indian students. it is, I think the best way to come to US is to come for your master's, right? That allows you to come to US to understand the US system, to learn US system. And there is an option, there is a provision, once you complete your master's, there is OPT provision where you can get your practical training. So there you can work in industry or work in a field that you're more interested in without any, without getting H1, I guess. Having said that, it is not easy. I don't want anybody to walk away from this saying that, oh, it is a walk in the park. Definitely not. Competition is a lot. It's very huge competition. You're competing with other students from many other fields. So that's where I think you have to offer something unique, something no one else has. You have to bring to the table. That is your attitude, your skill set. I saw actually a topic, I think, for tomorrow, skill set versus mindset. That may be very beneficial as well, right? So you have to stand out in your field. So people will seek you rather than you seeking them. So try to carve your niche. In academia, learn as much as you can, do research, publish papers, work with your faculty, and see what greater good you can do to the society, right? As a pharmacist, we have a moral obligation to improve the healthcare of our society. So contribute there, do both scientifically as well as voluntary work as well, that all of those things will help you in the long run, either getting into MS program, after completing MS, maybe if you're interested in doing PhD, and then, eventually wherever you land, either in academia or in industry.
How to get postdoc in US?
I can tell you what I did. Of course, that was many years ago now, almost 2.5 decades ago. Look at papers that are being published in your area of research. As I said, I did my PhD in pulmonary circulation, specifically hypoxia-induced pulmonary hypertension. As part of your PhD program, you will be reading a lot of literature, you're cross-referencing a lot of articles published by other authors. So you know who is prolific in your field, who is renowned in your field, and you want to reach out to that professor, to that lab, asking what you learned and how those skill sets can help that professor, and what you are anticipating in return from that professor's lab. What is that you want to learn from the professor's lab? So it's a two-way street, what you bring to the table and what you want to take away from that lab, right? In terms of experience, technologies. So you reach out to those professors, you share with them your articles, what you are expecting from them, and see if they have any funding. And in cases where they have grants, where they're looking for postdoctoral research fellows, they would sponsor you. There is a visa program called J1 visa. That's an exchange program. I came to the US on J1 program. I hope that answers your question.
So what are the roles of pharmacologists in drug discovery?
Pharmacologists in drug discovery. Pharmacologists can play many different roles in drug discovery, also in pharmacokinetics, like during the distribution, metabolism, elimination. All of those things typically are done by pharmacologists or pharmacokinetics. In drug discovery, you can do classic pharmacology, screening molecules, in vitro, in vivo. You can be looking at clinical trial data, analyzing all of that data as well. You can be providing drug information to the scientists who are working in the labs, or you can also provide information, literature to the key opinion leaders, we call KOLs, who are conducting clinical studies. So there are many, many different roles pharmacologists would play in drug discovery.
What will be the impact of COVID on pharma market?
I can speak for myself, right? I have been in industry for about 18 years now, and as a pharmacist, about, I want to say, 25 years or whatnot. I'm aging myself, but this is the most fulfilling part of my career with COVID-19. I know it's a pandemic, it's unfortunate, but professionally, I feel so satisfied. Whatever work I have been doing has a huge impact to help patients suffering from this disease, right? The medicines that we make are used in ICUs. We also manufacture remdesivir for Gilead, which is used as a therapy. So those are all fulfilling to me as a pharmacist, as a pharmacologist, if you like, and what I have been doing in industry. In general, right, that's my personal satisfaction there. But as a pharma market, again, it emphasizes the need for pharmacists, pharmaceutical industry, and also, of course, healthcare in general, right, doctors and all of that. It is so critical, especially pharmacists play such a critical role in this type of pandemic situation because there are not enough doctors, there are not enough nurses, there are not enough specialists to handle all of these. At least in the US, for example, pharmacists are authorized to do immunizations. We can take care of patients with flu vaccine or pneumonia vaccine. When it becomes available, COVID vaccine. Not only that, pharmacists are allowed here, depends on the state where you live in, allowed to do testing as well. You can do testing for COVID-19. You can test for, in the past, we used to even test for A1Cs, cholesterol panels, all of those things as well. So there is so much a pharmacist can do, especially in pandemic situation. Also, there are organizations like Medical Reserve Corps in the US. You can volunteer there, and their mission is to be prepared for these pandemic situations, how to handle whether it is flu pandemic or any other pandemic. So we are ready when such pandemic hits. So think about those things, right? Locally, what you can do, if there is nothing already exists, take that initiation from student body, promoting health, a lot of misconceptions as well, a lot of fear among patients. I do get sometimes questions, oh, my CT is 6, what does that mean, right? So you become that resource for our patients, answer their questions, allay their fears, provide them the right information. Those kind of things, you can do even today. And look for, sometimes I do get some friends and family send their medications. I do see they're taking, two different brand names, but it's the same API, same active ingredient. So try to help them, explain it to them. It's the same drug. You don't need to take twice, which would lead to adverse effects, right? Look for drug-drug interactions. Whatever you're learning in school, use that, apply that, help all these patients in this pandemic situation.
So, one more question. How to choose a area of research, and what are your thoughts on prospective research?
I'm sorry, what is a prospective research you said?
Yes, sir. Prospective research.
Prospective research. I think whoever is asking that question, they need to help me. I know what prospective means. Anytime we do research, okay, I see what they're saying. Maybe it's a retrospective analysis or prospective analysis, I guess. Maybe if I'm understanding that correctly. How to choose area of research? I think I answered that question earlier. I think what you have to do is, of all the subjects you have taken in your pharmacy school, try to see where your interest is. Is it pharmaceutics, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, microbiology, whatever, right? Identify the area that interests you the most. To me, it was pharmaceutics. Then ask yourself, within pharmaceutics, what is most interesting to you? Is it pharmacokinetics? Is it drug delivery? Drug development, whatever it is, right? Then narrow it down. I want to say my interest is in targeted drug delivery systems. Our interest was, let me put it that way, my interest was targeted drug delivery systems. At that time, I was looking at monoclonal antibodies. How can I use those to target my drug to the receptor? Or I was interested in liposomes. I was interested in nanoparticles. But the targeted drug delivery system using physiology as a platform was my interest. That's where I went to go to do my master's in physiology pharmacology. My PhD is in pharmacology. And from there, it opened up my eyes. I just understood how little I knew, and I became, much more humble in my approach. And even today, if you ask me, I know very little that out there. So it's very, very small. I learned. So that's how I landed in pharmacology. That's how I landed in, when I was doing pharmacology, pulmonary hypertension is a rare, it's very limited work was going on in that space. So I thought, okay, this is a fantastic area for me to work. Not only that, my father owned a rice mill. And if any of you have been to a rice mill, it's a very dusty operation. So they inhale a lot of what we call VUCA or taudu. It's particles coming out of polishing husking, milling the paddy into rice and then polishing them, right? That husk, that the first few layers of the grain. Think about the unit operations. Think about, in pharmacy school, what we learned, right? Sieving, milling, all of those things I have been exposed to as a kid when I visited my father's rice mill. All those unit operations I would see. Side separation, right? They use sieves as well to separate the grain from broken rice. So all of those things are they're everywhere if you keep your eyes open, I guess, right? One thing that was missing is they don't wear any personal protective equipment. So they inhale all this dust, and therefore they develop, usually allergies and upper respiratory distress. Kind of some people even develop lower respiratory related issues, bronchitis, all of those things, asthma. And some of those things will lead to pulmonary hypertension and emphysema, all of those things, right? So there is that natural curiosity in me. I want to understand how I can help patients suffering from pulmonary diseases and pulmonary hypertension. So that's where I kind of went into that area. From there, I've moved on to my postdoctoral research, and finally I want to bring it back. Whatever lessons I learned, always my passion was to apply in industry and help patients. So that's where I came back to industry, and I started asking questions. You may ask, you're talking about pharmacology, and now you're doing solid oral dosage forms or aseptic dosage forms and things of that nature. I think in this process, what I learned is a couple of things I learned. One, I learned that very little I know. There is so much more to learn. Two, remain curious. I feel like I'm a kindergartner. I know nothing. My cup is empty, so somebody can fill my cup. If I feel my cup is full, I cannot hold anything more. So think along those lines. Stay curious. Be hungry for more knowledge, and willing to learn more and give more. Ask those questions. Bother your professors. Volunteer in their labs. Do research. Publish. And learn as much as you can and apply.
One more question, sir, from Chandana Priya. Good evening, sir. How can we present our best writings in the publication of articles?
No, that's a fantastic question, right? There's so many ways you can publish. Either it is a professional journal. I think I'm missing now some of the names, right? I think Indian Pharmaceutical Association has quite a few journals. Or if it is you can start off with review article, for example. If you're passionate about it, work with your professors, choose a topic, collect articles, summarize them. Don't do it just for sake of publishing, but think about what value it brings. What is the gap I'm going to fill with my review article, right? I don't want this to be another review article which is rehashing what we know. Try to analyze it and look for a new dimension. And in a balanced way, look at both pros and cons, right? What knowledge we gained and what are the gaps in our current understanding of that subject. So start off with review article, and then when you identify the gaps, try to formulate a plan, working again with your professors. I think if you all are going to Riper, I see it is one of the top schools with high rankings, and talking to Dr. Ramalingam and Professor Padmanabh Reddy Garu, I understand you also have a lot of research grants. That tells me you have passionate professors, passionate faculty there. Utilize them, right? Utilize the resources you have at your disposal, right? Once you leave those four walls, it will be very difficult to get that kind of valuable resource, right? So once you identify the gap in your review article, try to develop an experimental design, do experiments, and start publishing those results. That's the way to start.
So next question by Ms. Anila. Good evening, sir. In lines to our career.
Your voice is very low. I can't hear you.
Good evening, sir. In cause of career-wise, working in dry or wet lab, which will be better? Which one will be flexible?
Dry or wet lab? Okay. Dry lab, wet lab. I think always when you say laboratory, your hands will be dirty. Flexibility wise, I think, if it is your lab, you can plan your experiments accordingly. Either one of them would provide flexibility, I would say.
Hello. Hello.
Yep.
Sir, this is Dr. Ramlingam. Sir, I just
Yes.
wanted you to summarize what are the skill set required for a young pharma graduate, or with the standard industry like you, Pfizer or Sun Pharma, so on so. What are the expected skill set for your outgoing M.Pharm students, especially for the branch of pharmacology or pharmaceutical analysis or like biopharmaceutics, etc., etc.
Yes.
Your view actually,
Yes.
so that what are the skills they required, they can enrich themselves, whether it's there in the syllabus or out of syllabus, so that we can make them to train up in the second year project itself. You can summarize it, please, sir.
Yes, certainly. One of my bosses, if you like, he always used to say, we hire for attitude. So attitude is the most important skill set you need. What I mean by that is that attitude of learning, attitude of curiosity, attitude of I can do this. So I can do attitude is what is most needed for you to be successful. Does that help?
Yeah, sir, actually, because one of the major component or major the pitfall in our area, the student thing, but one major communication skills, and they have a lot of entrance to come out. Though they have knowledge, we can see usually the more common practice is observed. And when you put a written test, they put everything into the paper. But same thing when we ask them to sit in front of us and we ask the same question, and they are I don't know whether reluctant or really they are ineligible to, or they're not able to catch up with this answering or not. That is a question. They have a lot of entrance. Overall, they have a lot of entrance. That's one of the major thing. And this is the one.
No, I think
usually we used to receive many HRs in the industry to where our students are placed, and apart from the skill set. So in that way, you can say something, because in US and all, the communication one of the first and prime most important to survive there.
Absolutely. I think Ramlingam garu, you touched upon a very important point. Communication, right? It's not what you know, it is how you communicate is equally important, if not more important. There, I would say, stand in front of a mirror and speak to yourself. That way you will build confidence. And don't worry about, in a safe forum, right, in your school or anywhere. Don't worry about people judging you, right? If somebody is trying to judge you, so be it. It is, you don't have to worry about that, but be yourself, relax. And there are few things you can do. Instead of me giving all of that, I will direct you to a place called Fake It Till You Make It, right? There is an author. She is a very celebrated author. She has several YouTube videos, how to improve your communication skills, Go look for those YouTube videos, very simple steps you can follow. Fake it till you make it. Google that one.
Sir,
Okay, actually, one more thing, and it's unfortunate or it's a shy for me to disclose and discuss with you, though our students are in front of the view and virtual platform. And the practice what is going in India, especially in Andhra Pradesh, after finishing the B Farm, the students, the more attracted towards the easy degree. I mean, they don't want to spend their time in college. They don't want to learn anything for laboratory, and they join job somewhere, and they try to pursue their degree from some colleges or substandard colleges, not at all colleges. And even the management and college also, they become that worst and third class, and they are started entertaining this kind of unethical practice also. And so in this scenario, and you need to address or you need to advise the students regarding that need of this the real-time training and real-time skill learning through the MPharm program. And there are one more thing. The many students, they believe that okay, BPharm is enough. Why to go for MPharm? Why to go for PhD? And they can survive. Is it possible to survive or get and good career in lifetime with the only BPharm qualification in future?
There are many dimensions to this question. I have seen a lot of very successful people with no degrees, right? If we look at Bill Gates, he's a dropout, but he's very successful. Everybody looks up to him when it comes to software and things of that nature, at least when he was heading Microsoft, right? So degree is not an end to everything.
Sir, apart from the entrepreneurs, apart from the entrepreneurship, apart from that, and working in industry, for example, going for promotion to a higher, like the manager, senior manager, president, vice president. In such a case, and the upgrade and qualification is essential. Okay.
It will. So there is a misconception, right? Degree will take you to high places. It is only one of the many factors, right? It will certainly help you. It will distinguish you from rest of the people. But to be very frank, that is not the only factor that will take you where you need to go, right? It is how you apply that knowledge, how you're continuously learning, adapting, how you are solving problems, how you are communicating, and how you are strategically looking ahead before a problem becomes a problem. You identify that and you solve that problem. So those are all things that would help, that would be looked upon favorably as a leader. If you want to become a leader, right, that's what you're talking about, becoming a CEO or vice president or whatever it is. That's a leadership role. Leadership role, in those roles, you need to be identifying what others cannot see. Before everybody else can see, you see that, and you march, you marshal, you lead your team to solve that problem, or you take your team to that stage before anybody can take you there. Anybody shows you that path. Those are things that will help with promotion. So those are things, I think probably what you're saying. What I'm going to say is leadership skills are most needed. And but if you want to be a technical leader, for example, if you want to lead an R&D organization, or if you want to lead R&D team, that's where your technical expertise comes into picture, right? You need to have that PhD. That would certainly help. It's not absolute essential, but it would help you. But it's scientific thinking process, right? What the problem is, how do I solve that problem? How do I approach it? So if you ask what I learned from my PhD is the problem solving skill, right? What is the problem? How do I go about that problem? What kind of experiments I need to conduct to understand the factors contributing to this root cause? Once I identify those factors, take those corrective actions to prevent it from happening again. So that's learning process, applying those learned skills, scientific problem solving skills are very critical.
And sir, finally, one submission. Will you help us to accommodate some of our students in Pfizer unit in India for internship or job, if provided that they qualify the requirement?
So absolutely, I'm more than happy to help where I can. What I cannot do is I cannot search jobs for you. If you do a job search, you find a job that is of interest to you. Once you find that job, if you let me know, what I can help is I can at least connect you or put your resume in front of the hiring manager. After that, it is up to the hiring manager.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so
that's
that
great.
much
So
I
that's
can,
enough.
that much I can facilitate.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. No, actually, we have around 50 students among that. And though our institute is already accredited and as well as, many not like other colleges, and our students are regular and they earn almost a skill set. I mean, whatever the skill set we have in our campus, they're almost near to the NIPER because the technology wise or skill wise, whatever the case, we are trying to equip them. So with that, I definitely, the many companies recruit the students from a NIPER, all those things. So in such a case, out of 50, maybe top five members from department 1 or 2, and definitely they deserve to take part in the Pfizer or a high, such leading companies. So only for those candidates only we'll be trying in that case. It's all depends on the candidate who are trying. We are going to try. It's all depends upon the candidate what knowledge and skill what they in the past now.
Yeah, I mean, I will also tell you this, right? Pfizer is a fantastic company to work for, and a lot of career development opportunities, fantastic benefits. You can make a huge impact. At the same time, don't limit yourself, right? Sometimes you can learn a lot by working in a small organization where you will wear multiple hats, which early in the career, I think it would help you to learn as much as possible, many different facets of pharmaceutical industry, whether it is technical services or it is formulation development or it is quality assurance, quality control, or it's regulatory affairs. So there are pros and cons, right? In big companies, multinationals like Pfizer, lots of opportunities for development and learning as well. But when it comes to cross-functional learning, I think you may find an upcoming company, a small company, where you will have more opportunities to learn as much as possible and will get you a well-rounded experience. So, don't rule that out.
Sir, a few more questions.
So that's all from my side, and
So you're breaking up.
And
hello, Pawan.
Sorry, your voice is breaking up.
No, sir, will clinical SAS help me in getting job abroad?
Hello.
Clinical SAS. I'm not in that area, so I'm not able to answer precisely, but I would expect so.
Answered. Sir, how can a M.Pharm student learn state-of-art technology? For example, CRISPR-Cas9, knockout gene technologies, etc.
Yeah. I guess the two ways, I think. One is reading a lot about it understanding it in principle, right, by reading review articles and research publications in that space. To get hands-on experience, probably you need to reach out to the professors who are working in that space, see if there are any opportunities in their lab for you to shadow them. And most professors do allow you to go and see, you can spend a day, you can spend a week, or if you have time, if you're, if you have summer, you have whatever, 10 weeks or whatever it is, you can apply for work in their lab, voluntary work, even if it is a voluntary work. That's how you can get your hands-on experience in those novel technologies.
Sir, one more question. I think this is somewhat elaborated. Good evening, sir. I am Rahul Raghav from Raipur. We are very familiar that technology has been advancing daily beyond our knowledge that reduces burden on man. My question is, almost all the pharmaceutical industries follow semi-automated process in various manufacturing process and reduces burden on person working in that area. So what if technology advances further and becomes fully automated? By chance, what if sometimes the plants use robotic machine in such field? What is our position in the society? To simplify it, if it is completely automated, what is the role of personnel there? Yeah.
Yes. Rahul is asking a $1 million question. What I would say is, robotics can replace humans is the fundamental question I think he's asking. I think we will coexist. I think that's my opinion, personal opinion. I'm no expert in that space, but I think what will happen is we will be focusing more on value-added work, right? Not a routine tasks. We can delegate our routine tasks to robotics, but we can be focusing on more value-added work. How can I improve my process? How can I develop a new drug that has less side effects, right? Or how can I enhance the quality of my existing product? So we will be using more of our brains, and robots will be doing most of those routine tasks. I believe that's where I see the profession eventually will be. It will be a synergy between humans and robots.
Junaid, one more question, sir. Which one is a money-making field or profession in pharmacy?
I wish I knew that. If I knew that, probably I would be making that money as well. So my general advice would be, don't follow money, right? Money is important, don't get me wrong. Money is important for sustenance and all of that, but follow your passion. Follow your passion, money will follow you. Hope that helps.
There are a few questions, almost 5 to 6 questions. They are asking about artificial intelligence in pharmacy.
I know it is a rapidly evolving field. Personally, I have used a little bit of it. I dabbled with it a little bit, but I'm no expert. I have no knowledge of artificial intelligence, machine learning. It is a space that is rapidly evolving, and where we see AI would help is in the predictive analytics. Before an issue becomes an issue, artificial intelligence would alert that, hey, using this raw material with these specifications or with this certificate of analysis, whatever quality attributes we're measuring, if they're within certain boundaries, then everything will be okay. And if it sees a trend, it may be within the range, but if it sees a trend, it is on the lower side or it's on the higher side, then that's where artificial intelligence, the algorithms can help analyze all of that information and tell you, with this one, you may have a challenge. You may have to take some additional precautions or whatnot. So that alerts the operator, that alerts the manufacturing personnel to take steps to prevent it from before it becomes an issue, right? So that's one space, but it can be many other areas within pharmaceutical industry. AI can be used from drug discovery to distribution systems to dispensing drugs in the pharmacy to patients.
Will PharmD students get job in US?
PharmD students get jobs in US. It depends on what kind of job you are referring to. If you are looking for industry jobs, yes, you are eligible to apply. That doesn't mean you will get the job. Like I said, it is very competitive space, especially if pharmaceutical industry has to sponsor you. That can be a hurdle. I'm not saying it cannot be overcome, but that is one factor against you, if you like. If you're looking at a retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy as a clinical pharmacist, I think it is not possible. I could be wrong. I would ask you to go to nabp.org. There you can see the requirements of becoming a registered pharmacist in the US, and that will tell you exactly. I think there was a cutoff period at one time. I can't remember exactly. So, but I would refer, instead of giving you wrong information, I would suggest you go to nabp.org for that.
Sir, can you suggest us career paths after completing quality assurance in MPharm?
Quality assurance in MPharm, I guess, if you have spent 2 years studying quality assurance, I would expect that you're interested in quality, to stay in quality. There are many opportunities in that space. You can be working in aseptic quality. You can be working in manufacturing quality. You can be working in, regulatory quality as well. So, opportunities are boundless, I would say, lots of opportunities there.
One question from Abdul Rahman. Sir, which department in MPharm will be better, industrial pharmacy or pharmaceutics, to get good job opportunity, either in India or US? How can I improve my skills while doing MPharm course?
I think both of them are very good choices, pharmaceutical technology or industrial pharmacy. Again, coming to US, part of it, I guess probably you have to come here. Most likely, easiest path, I would say, among all is come here as a student, right? Doing your MS. And then that will allow you to understand lay of the land and apply here for positions. That doesn't mean you will get one, but at least that you're one step closer to getting one. Both technology and industrial pharmacy are great fields.
So next question. In pharmaceutical industry, there are departments like QA, QC, IPQA, warehouse, etc. As an entry-level pharmacist, which department would he or she join to gain optimum knowledge? Which department will you prefer for entry-level pharmacists? Question from pharmaceutical assurance department students.
Okay. Warehouse, QC, QA, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
I'm
also
not saying
IPQA.
one is IPQA, right? Okay. Maybe I'm biased here a little bit. I would say, QC, QA, IPQA, all those three would be fantastic opportunities. Not that warehouse is not any less, but it is, I think, warehouse is more towards logistics, right? So if you want to apply your pharmaceutical training, certainly you can apply in the warehouse as well, but you can apply more in QA, QC, and IPQA areas.
So on what basis can I select my MPharm research title?
So the two, I think I'm a practical person. I want to see what your school can offer first, right? That will narrow down, because research as such is a huge, vast area, right? But you want to focus on what can be accomplished with the resources you have. So look at the publications your teachers have been publishing, ask questions, find out what kind of technologies they're using, and then look at the publications in peer-reviewed journals like Journal of Pharmaceutical Sciences or American Association of Pharmaceutical Sciences. They have newsletters. Look at those things as well and marry them, right? What is that your school can offer and what is the current research that is of interest to you, and from there you focus on what you can do within your school. I think the key thing here is understanding the process, right? How to scope the problem statement, how to design an experiment, conduct an experiment, analyzing the data, coming to data-driven decisions at the end of the process. And last but not least is communicating that result, communicating your findings in terms of research articles. So focus on the process, I would say, initially, and then figure out your passion and dive into that path.
Sir, one more question from Gautam Pal. Sir, after getting teaching experience, is there any possibility for getting PDF in US, postdoc in US?
If you're already, if you completed your PhD, definitely PDF is a possibility.
Sir, is there any time period, that means limit of period after completion of PhD and getting postdoc?
Ideally, if you apply for PDF immediately after your PhD or within a reasonable time frame, I think that would become a little bit easier. But if there is a significant gap, it becomes a little bit more challenging to explain, why the gap and why PDF now, right? If you're in mid-career, going and doing PDF may not help you as much unless you are in academia and you want to continue in academia, where you want to enhance your skill set in that particular space.
Sir, one student, Jagadish, he is asking, sir, I was qualified in CS Chemical Sciences and I want to do my PhD in US. Will it be useful there for my studies?
I'm sorry, say that again. What was the question?
I was qualified in CSR Life Sciences, and I want to do
Okay.
my PhD in US. Is it useful there for my studies?
Qualified in CSIR Chemical Sciences. I don't know what that is.
No, sir. CSR is organizes exam every year where it provides fellowships for doing the PhD in India. So I think he's asking
Okay.
whether this CSR licenses qualification will help him there in US. It's
It may be a positive factor, but I don't think it will make a big difference, because that is, if I'm understanding correctly, that is a Indian government conducted exam, I would think. Is that correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's like a
Okay.
GATE, but for doing PhD.
Yeah. Definitely, it will be a positive factor. It may help, it may not help.
Sir, learning softwares like Schrodinger, Autodocking help us in pharma industry.
I'm not familiar with those softwares. My apologies.
Sir, how can we make effective to Six Sigma with help of this industry 4.0 things like IoT, AI, augmented reality?
How can we make effective to Six Sigma with the help of this industry for things such as IoT? Okay. Augmented reality. I think fundamentally, I mean, I'm not an expert in this space, but what I can tell you is with Six Sigma means I'm a Six Sigma black belt trained. There is a lot of opportunity in pharma industry to apply Six Sigma principles, minimize waste, reduce cycle time, improve efficiencies, all of those things. Six Sigma thinking will help. Right now, pharma industry operates at about I would say 3 Sigma is maybe the best. World class is 3 Sigma right now. So there is a lot of ways for industry to improve in that space to go to Six Sigma level. How IoT, AI, augmented reality would help, I would expect those things will facilitate. As I was, I think earlier somebody asked about artificial intelligence. I think, they can help understand the patterns, analyze the data, see the trends that we otherwise will not see, and help accelerate that journey towards Six Sigma processes.
Apart from publications, are there any parameters that are or the pharma company would consider for hiring us?
I would say publications are very critical. If you have very good publications in good peer-reviewed journals, if you're doing some groundbreaking work, definitely pharma industry would seek you. What other parameters? Yeah. I think as Dr. Ramlingam made a comment earlier, I think communication skills are very critical. Attitude is very critical, and the curiosity to learn new things is very critical.
Sir, I think we are done with the questions, sir.
Okay.
Any questions? Dear participants, if you are willing to ask any questions, please post them in the box.
What are the
Sir, Sir, you can
Can
please
you,
take out.
can you enable the video? It's disabled.
Sir, you can try, sir, now. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, it's a lighting error. It's raining, so I can't go outside. Also, it's very lighting. And
Sir, you're not audible. Sir, still not audible, sir. Sir,
Problem is there.
sir, not yet audible, sir. We are not able to hear anything.
No, it seems that Ramlingam is having some connectivity problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, maybe you are Hello?
Sir, no, sir. I have done nothing.
But here it is.
Sir, you are
Now
co-host.
okay?
Yeah, yes, sir. Now it's fine, sir.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, audio is fine, but
Okay.
video is not there.
Okay, video leave it. Video is not necessary. And sir, thank you very much. And on behalf of principal and faculty and students and management Raipur, and really we are fortunate enough to be with you at this platform. And despite your busy schedule, you have spent almost about 2 hours with us, and you are interacted, because most of the sessions always goes a monologue, and where always the people are present on the slides, and the last very few questions will be there and they answer it. Sometimes if lack of time, we subside it. We don't ask we don't pose so many questions. And but this session, from the beginning, we started the question and answer, and where the student had satisfaction that they had interacted with you, and you have tried your level best to answer all the questions. And I feel this is something different sessions what we have experienced in the past. So we feel, I think these kind of things will make the students more benefit also, because and these sessions will really make the student to interact with the real-time scenario, and they'll try to ask, they'll to clarify the real-time problem and their own problem. And it's a kind of thing. So, though we are in academics, we may try to answer all those questions with our interaction with you people like industrialist. But rather we answer to the questions always. It's fruitful satisfaction for a student that they get answer from you people. So really, it's it's a great part of you, and really it's a great interest. And I that students, and Sir is one of the advisory member in our campus. It is there on our website also. His name is always there. And really, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your gracious presence. And thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, Padmanabhi,
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, and I wish all the best to the students. And you have great faculty. It looks like great resources, and the thought that you all have put into this online forum is really very I appreciate that thought process. I think that shows how much you are committed for your students, how much you are dedicated to your profession, and great questions by the students as well. I think it's very insightful for me to hear how passionate they are. They want to learn more. They want to contribute more. Both in industry and academia. Fantastic question. So it's my true pleasure. If anything, I think I learned a lot by interacting with all of you. So I'm appreciative of this time. Thank you all, and all the best.
Thank you, Mallikarjun sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much for your nice interaction. Almost, I think approximately 2 hours you have spent with us.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realize. I'm having so much fun.
Please.
Yeah.
Thanks to my friend Suresh. Yes.
Absolutely.
Introduce yourself to us, and please be with us whenever we require any help from your side. Definitely, our people, our faculty will be in touch with you. So please guide them. And
absolutely,
sir, thank you, sir. And also, in case of students, also please try to extend your helping hand in getting this thing placements or at in Pfizer in India, or maybe
Yes.
doing their project works also. So
Yep.
maybe our faculty, particularly Pawan and Abdul Ahad, will be in touch with you. They are dealing with the pharmaceutics. Okay, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anytime. Anything I can do, I'm happy to do so.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you
You're
can see in
welcome.
this question answer session also, sir. All the students are saying thank you, sir, thank you so much. Thank you for spending your time.
My,
Really informative session. These are the comments from students, the
my
participants.
pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah. You never know. Maybe you will become my peer one day, right? Or maybe my boss. Who knows? So, yeah. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day,
Bye-bye.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Soon.
Sir, shall I end the session, sir?
Yeah, Pawan, you can.
Okay, sir. Students, and tomorrow's session, login will be provided in your WhatsApp groups, as well as it will be again live stream similar to today's session. Thank you. Thank you all.